guys, it's Miss Simpson and it is time for math today. So we've been doing a lot of things in math this week where we have been learning about geometry terms. So you need to have some terms memorized by the end of the week and just get used to seeing them. So let's start off with a point. A point is one little dot. And normally when I am going to represent a point, they would label it with a letter. A, B, C, D. So if I was to say, what is the name of this point? You would say it is point A. So if this is a line, this is a line. So when I label lines, let's say it looks like this. If I was to show you a line that looked like that, you would label this line A, B, because there's an A on one side and a B on one side. Not all that difficult, right? Let's talk about rays. Rays, lines can extend in the direction. These arrows say they can go on forever and forever and forever in both directions. Rays have one end point. And they can go on forever in only one direction. So let's say this ray is labeled this. Well, actually, this F wouldn't be here. It would be this. FG. So this would be ray FG. So again, let me show you. If I had a ray and they said, what is the name of this ray? The way you would label it is ray HJ, because it starts with an H and it ends with a J. So let's talk about this one. Ooh, what is this? This is a line segment. It has two end points. 1, 2 end points. So if I were to label this ST, this would be line segment ST. So I just want to show you something real quick. If you see, draw this. Notice this is a ray. It only has an arrow on one side of it. So if I was going to draw it, I would draw a ray and I would label it ST. What if it asked me to draw ST again like this? This has two endpoints. There are no arrows. So that is a line segment, and you could draw it like this. And you would label those points S and T. Let's do another one. What if it showed you HG? Told you to label it HG. This has two endpoints, or no endpoints, I mean. No endpoints because it's a line, and you would label it HG. Finally, I want to show you what a point would look like. What if it showed you H, like a point, and you would just draw a point and label it H? So today on your assignment, you might see some things that look like this. If it has a ray over it, you'll draw a ray and you'll label it ST. If it has just one line over it, you'll draw a line segment and label it ST. If you see a line above it, you'll draw a line and you'll label it HG. And if you just see a letter, it is a point. You're also going to see some things today about angles. So let me go ahead and introduce you the three types of angles. And this is a review. I'm sure you've heard of these type of angles before. But this angle right here is a right angle. It is a 90-degree angle, and it makes a square in the corner. So a 90-degree angle, it looks like a perfect L. That's what I always think of right angles. It's a perfect L. If I were to take like a piece of paper and put it in the corner of the angle, it would be perfectly square. Perfectly square. And most of the time we label right angles with this little square in the corner. So yes, perpendicular, that's another word that we learned. Perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines look like this. And every corner of a perpendicular line is a right angle. And I know that because I can take my piece of paper, my sticky note, put it in there, and it makes that perfect square for all four corners. So yes, that is perpendicular. Let's now talk about acute angles. Acute angles are smaller than a right angle. So when I think of acute, I always want you to think a cute little baby or a cute little puppy. It's so cute. It's so small. That's how I remember it. So I remember 90 degrees or a right angle makes an L. Acute is like a cute little baby. So let's take a look at intersecting lines. Intersecting lines are the ones that look like this. And in the corner of intersecting lines, they make acute little angles. Acute little angles. Or sometimes this one is actually obtuse, but we'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to mark this out. But two of them are acute because they are so cute. Little friends are cuter. So I have an L as a right. I have acute, which is this tiny little one, which are on these sides. And you also see them in intersecting. But let's take a look at obtuse. When I think of obtuse, I think hang loose. So that is bigger than a right angle. So again, a right angle makes an L. Acute is smaller. Obtuse says hang loose. So let's take a look at these same intersecting lines. I'm going to redraw them because I messed it up just a second ago. So these two are acute. They're smaller than a right angle. They're so cute and tiny. But obtuse, look at obtuse. This angle right here is obtuse, and it shows me hang loose. Obtuse. So again, we have the right angle, which we see in perpendicular lines. We have acute, which is these tinier angles that are smaller than a right angle, and obtuse is hang loose, and it is bigger than a right angle. So these are what those angles look like. Right, acute, obtuse. An angle is actually made up of rays. So if we were to look at this, if I was to draw a point right here, you could see that this angle has 1, 2 rays. Same with all of these. They're made up of 2 rays. Let me go ahead and label these real quick. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these angle cards. So again, an angle is when 2 rays have a common end point or a vertex. A vertex is when they meet together. So they have a vertex here and they both have a common end point. So let's take a look. This angle right here, you can't really see it. This angle right here on this stop sign. So it's just this line and this line. Is it acute? Is it an L? Or is it hang loose? It looks like hang loose to me. Look at it. If I'm going to look at it from this side, I see this line and this line. It's way bigger than an L. So it must be obtuse. What about this one? Can I make an L in the corner? It doesn't have a little square, but can I put a little paper in the corner? Yes, I can. So it is an L. It is a right angle. What about this one? What about this angle right here? It's so cute. It's acute. So we have obtuse, right, and acute. Let's look down here. What about this one? It looks smaller than an L to me. So here's my hand. My hand makes an L for a right angle. And this one is kind of like this, right? So if you go like this, it's acute. So it is acute, right? A little acute angle. What about this one? You should clearly see that L right there. That is a right angle. What about that one? Make an L with your hand. I can't go further, right? I tried to stretch it out. I can't go further. So that one is definitely a hang loose. That's an obtuse. So we have three types of angles. Right makes an L. Acute is so cute and it's smaller than a right angle. And obtuse is hang loose. It's bigger than a right angle. Okay, so when it is asking you today, let's take a look. If it asks you to make angle X, Y, Z, and it wants you to make it obtuse, you are going to draw an obtuse angle. So that would be like bigger than a right angle, right? So right angle would be an L, so I've got to make it bigger than my L. And then I would label it with 3 points. One at the top, one at the vertex, and one at the end. X, Y, Z. If it asks you for a right angle, so this right here, if it says a right, and then it has that, and it says AB, C, that means they want you to draw a right angle and label it ABC. So a right angle looks like an L. So I could draw a right angle, and I would label 3 points on it, A. So one at the top, one at the vertex, and one at the end. If I have something that says like this, that wants you to draw an array and label it CD. So I would draw array. My end point would be C, and I draw another end point, and it would be D. If it wants you to draw a line segment, that is a PR. You would draw a line with 2 endpoints labeled P and R. So that's what these things mean. Let's do one more, and it is the line. If it has 2 endpoints and it tells you to do CD, you would draw a line. You would label this point C and this point D. So this line would be called line CD. This angle would be angle XYZ. This angle would be ABC. That's the name of those angles, and that is how you would draw them when you see that today on the top part of your paper. That's how you would draw and label them. So do not just draw it, you have to label it. If you do not label it, I will take points off. So draw and label. Down here, you are going to classify angle B. So you're going to look right here, and it's kind of hard to see, but you're going to tell me, is that angle acute, obtuse, or right? And then you're going to tell me, Jenny thinks that angle C is a right angle. Why? Explain why Jenny's name for the angle is incorrect. So again, if I put it in here, it's not a right angle. What angle is it? And tell me how you know that. Then you are going to answer number 16 on the back. How many right angles can you see in this figure? Right angles make an L. And then you're going to tell me parallel, perpendicular. This is what we're working on. 2 lines that are parallel. So to name 2 lines, you would remember those lines' names would be S, T, and R, Z. Those 2 right there are parallel, which means they never touch. 2 lines that are perpendicular, though, 2 lines that make a T that cross each other. So you would tell me the 2 points that are on that line. That's how you name a line. And 2 lines that intersect but are not perpendicular, that make that X look. Okay, then you're not going to do anything on the back, but you are going to do 4. You're not going to do anything on the bottom, but you're going to do these 4. So you're going to tell me which ones look perpendicular. So look at this. They label them JK. So you would look at JK, that line, and LM, that line. Do they look perpendicular? You're going to show me which ones are parallel, which best describes parallel lines, and which does not describe intersecting lines. So I am going to post this anchor chart and the lines anchor chart right down below to help you out. But just remember, when you are going to draw them, if it tells you to draw an angle, this is how you draw it. But if it tells you name two lines that are parallel, well, if I have these two lines, and this is S, T, and this is H, J, you would say lines S, T, and and H, J. Those two are parallel. That's how you would name those lines, by the 2 points that are on them. Okay, so for help time today, I will be on for help time, but guess what? I'm not going to help you with every single one. So you need to go through and do all of them by yourself. I will help you with maybe 5 of them. So pick 5 of your very hardest, and those are the ones that I will help you with. But I'm not going to help you do every single one of them, because I want to know what you know, what's in your brain. All right, my friends, I love y'all so much. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.